Brandon Mahan in here for you. Go ahead and fire away for these two whenever you're ready.
So what was that experience like? You guys were trailed by 12, I think it was, early in the second half, and then that ferocious comeback to take the lead and then extend. I mean, just what was the feeling like out there?
I feel like we're pretty much used to it. You know, we do situations like that in practice. So, you know, for times like this in the game, you know, we were, really prepared for it.
You were hitting a lot of threes. I mean, I think the team was 8 of 8 in the second half or something like that. I mean, it's just one of those nights where everything's going in. What was that feeling like when every shot seems to go in?
I feel like that comes with playing good basketball, playing unselfish. The ball has energy, so, we play good basketball. Things like that capable of happening, especially with the scores that we have on this team.
Darin, can you take us back to that sequence in the game where you go on that fast break, the dunk, and you steal it and bounce back, give it to CJ for the lead? Can you take us through what you were thinking in that moment?
Yeah, once I saw CJ got the block, I was just trying to get him before the shot clock went out, so I could get the dunk. And I knew I had it. And then I don't even know what happened. I just saw the ball. Everybody getting our press. I just saw the ball, so I scooped it up.
Darin, when you're, I'm so sorry. I thought you were done. Darin, I know you're talking about that you prepare for this in practice, but there was an electricity in the atmosphere there. You're not going to get that at practice. What did that do for the environment for you?
For sure, our fans were amazing. They gave us a lot of energy. We fed off them. That was actually one of my first time playing here with the crowd like that. So it was fun.
Brandon, the team shot 72% in the second half. Everything was falling. Just talk about the looks you were getting.
I feel like they were great looks from my teammates, getting me open. I feel like it comes with the work ethic of the team. We all work hard and get prepared for each and every game.
Brandon, how important was it to get this win? Obviously, every game's important to win, but you guys know you want to make the tournament, and games like this, against a team like Michigan can go a long way later in the season. Knowing that you lost an opportunity to play Florida State a couple weeks ago, so how important was it to get the W tonight?
It was very important. It's a good team, Power 5 school as well. So it was just a great one overall because it's a great team.
So, Brandon, earlier Coach said it best that sometimes great players have slow starts to seasons. You were kind of struggling earlier on, and then a couple weeks before a holiday started to trend up. I think you picked the right time to peak here. How does that feel, having that performance at this time for such a big game?
It feels great because I got a great team to support it with. They love me. I love them. And we just going to keep working hard as we go.
Darin, that long three you had from the corner, I don't know how far it was, how many feet it was, but take me through that. I mean, you just kind of see where you were and you had space to get it. What was kind of your thought process when you decided, do I want to take this shot or not?
I just saw I had the big on me, so I called for the ball. I saw he was backed up. Coach always tells me shoot your bullets when you have them, so I feel like that was a good one. I just took it.
I know this is something that's more associated down in the paint, but Jamir Reynolds came in and drew some fouls, and then you got the big technical call against Michigan. How much did that change things on the floor for you guys?
He definitely changed the game. He gives Bakke a break, and he comes in and he plays hard. CJ, when he throws the middle lane, he's going to execute on both ends.
You guys were down close at the half, and Michigan comes out second half. They're up 12. What's Coach's message to you when you get down that much early?
Pretty much, we got ourselves in that situation, so now we got to fight out. And once we get out, we're just going to maintain the lead, and that's pretty much what we did.
Brandon, it kind of felt like you guys were building off each other's shooting momentum tonight. How can a game like this help you guys moving forward?
A game like this can help us. I don't know. It can help us just as a team, just prepare for the next game. We work hard. That's what I was saying. We work hard, so it's nothing for real.
What did you see from Darius Johnson out there? He was playing a lot in the second half, setting up and running in the offense for you guys.
Great kid. He works real hard, and definitely comes in to play and win.
So your demeanor right now doesn't really mirror kind of what happened out there in the atmosphere that it was. Where does that come from? This cool and calm and collective that y'all are kind of showing right now.
I feel like that comes from this coach preaching. Act like you've done this before. He says that all the time. Like on the dunk, don't celebrate too much. Act like you've done it before. Be happy, but still just keep. It's all about class when it comes down to things like that. So that's where we get that.
So sticking with handling business, you handled business tonight. Got conference play coming up. How do you guys transition from that to this? I know business as usual is the thing, but the goal is, when I talked to you guys in media day, everybody said they want to win the conference. What does that mean coming up?
We're working hard to be ready for the next game.
So with all the I mean, the game was bananas. I mean, how much fun did you guys have tonight? I mean, that was crazy to be a part of it. It's crazy to watch it. It must have been amazing to play in it.
It was amazing. It was fun.
Yeah, for sure. I know. Like I said, I had fun. We fed off the crowds and it too. So yeah, we had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, even with the electric crowd and the speed of the game, I think you guys only had about 5 turnovers. Is that something you guys been working on in practice, or talk about that a little bit?
I can't wait to tell the coach about that. Definitely get on the coach about that one. But yeah, no, we definitely, we run for our turnovers in practice, and so no one really like running, So I think that played a big part in it.
What did Coach tell you guys after the game?
It was just, good win, but just like a loss, it's over with. We got to move on to the next, So,
You got the shield tonight.
But the shit, they ain't say.
the
The team got the shit, I think. The team win.
All good, guys?
Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Fire away for Coach Dawkins whenever you're ready.
Coach, was that the best second half that maybe you can remember this team playing? That was amazing.
You know, I agree with you. I think it's one of the best second halves we've ever had. I mean, I thought our guys really responded well, both offensively and defensively. So defensively, our guys really started to dig deep, especially when we got down. And offensively, we get on the roll, we get to making shots like we're capable. You see what can happen tonight. Guys can the basket gets real big for certain shooters on our team, and tonight was one of those nights.
They started out strong though, Michigan did, in the second half. They got a lead up there to 12. What was your message to the team when you got behind quickly there?
Well, I wanted to settle them down. I mean, when we got down, I called timeout. I wanted to settle them down. I knew, we just didn't get off to a good start in the second half. I'm going, okay, we got to change this momentum. So we called timeout. We talked about the things we needed to do first defensively and rebounding the basketball. Then we talked about coming down offense and just having fun. Spreading the ball around, playing with each other, attacking. And our guys were able to do that.
Michigan, a lot of the talk would have been their size, with Dickens in the middle, especially, but their perimeter defense and shooting seemed to do some of the work too. How did you counteract that perimeter action?
Well, we knew they were very good on the perimeter. They have some experienced perimeter. That backcourt is definitely, older backcourt. So what we wanted to do is we had to make some adjustments in the second half because they were, scoring the basketball, shooting the basketball fairly well. So we wanted to try to be a little more aggressive defensively, put a little more pressure on them, try not to let them get as comfortable as they were earlier, doing probably the first 25, 30 minutes of the game.
Coach, how about Darin? Shades of Matt Williams there a little bit?
That's always a good name to throw out. Yes, absolutely. Darin was terrific. I mean, he really, during that stretch where we needed baskets, first half to kind of keep us in the game, and the second half when we were reeling a little bit, I thought he really stepped up and played really well for us. He shot the ball with a lot of confidence, and I thought that helped our other players kind of settle in the game as well.
He said he always has the green light from you, that particularly long one from the corner. What was your vantage point of that? What were you thinking when he decided to shoot it?
Well, no, absolutely. I mean, our guys, the shots you see our guys shooting in the games are the shots our guys shoot in practice. And so that's why I have so much confidence in what they're able to do, because I get to see it every day. And so nobody's out there doing anything I hadn't already seen them do. And I've seen Darin Green take, 25, 28, 30 footers. When he's in rhythm like he was tonight, and we're fine with that because we believe in him and we've seen him have success doing it.
Coach, you talked a lot in the past about getting high percentage looks, and it seemed like the team was struggling to get to that in the first half and then the beginning of the second half. How does that change throughout the game? How do you make a change like that on the fly in the middle of the game?
Well, what we tried to do is continue to keep our pace up. We want to play a 94-foot game. You guys have heard me say that a lot. We press, we run, and we just looking at the game with our depth. We just want to continue to try to play that way because, we think our conditioning is a big part of what we do. And so as the game goes on, we still feel, I feel our guys as fresh as they were in the first half, because that's the way we've been training them. And so as the game is going on like that, even when we're down a few points or up, it doesn't matter. So we want to continue to play a certain way. We want to continue to keep that pace going fast because we think that's to our advantage.
Was there a specific moment in that game where you felt like, okay, things are starting to turn around, or did you feel like there was a sense of maybe a little bit of panic there? A little bit?
Well, that time was Brandon Mahan. When Brandon started, getting back to being Brandon Mahan that we know, I knew that, things had turned around for it because when he starts, knocking down shots the way he's capable of, I mean, as you can see, he's so dynamic because he can make shots a lot of different ways, open shots, he can create his own shot. He's just a hard guy to cover, when he gets it going. And so when I saw that happen, I started feeling like, okay, we're going to have enough firepower now, for sure, coming down the stretch to be very competitive.
Turnovers were an issue early in the season. Only 6 tonight. That's going to make you very happy.
You know that as a point guard, I'm extremely happy. Anytime we're under 10 turnovers, I'm ecstatic. And so our guys did a great job of taking care of the basketball. It's a very good basketball team. And so what that should show our guys is that we should be capable of doing that against everyone as far as taking care of the ball to that level. So we need that. And we started getting to conference play, possessions are going to be a premium.
Going back to Brandon real quick, earlier in the year you had mentioned he's a great player that just had a little bit of a slow start to a season. You had mentioned you had that happen to you in your older season. Then over this past couple of weeks here, you've got the Bethune-Cookman game, you had the game after that, and then you kind of see him uptick. Were those kind of tune-up opportunities for him to come out and have a big performance tonight?
You start seeing him start to get in rhythm, start to get some momentum. We play such a tough schedule, as you know. Every preseason for us, what type of teams we're going to face, and they're tough, hard-fought wins. And so for him to have a couple of games in there where he was able to not be 1-2 possession games, but maybe more possessions, a lead with more possessions, I think gave him a chance to continue to get more in rhythm. But I thought it started really the Temple game on the road, to be quite frank. I thought he had a good game on the road for us, and I think from that point on, you could start seeing trending back to being Brandon that we've known.
He heard one of the Michigan staff members say he's never heard their home games get that loud. Like, what was the atmosphere like? How was the energy? How do you think the guys fed off that?
It gives you goosebumps. When our crowd comes out the way they did tonight and they get loud, it's one of the best arenas you can play in anywhere. And I've been in a lot of great arenas, and I've seen this arena get as loud as any of them. So it's just a function of coming out, like when the community, greater Orlando community, UCF, we come out like that, we can have a special home court here. But it takes all of us. Now, I think I said this when I first took the job. It's not going to happen because of a coach or certain players. It's going to happen because of our community, being in the stands, coming out, supporting. Because that extra energy, that makes it electric in the building. And I don't care who you are when you come in as an opposing team. There's an intimidation factor when it's that type of crowd. And that's what tonight, our crowd was terrific.
We had Brandon and Darin in here earlier, and they were pretty calm, pretty even, pretty business as usual. Does that surprise you that they weren't more hyped, that this is a veteran team and they expect to do something like this?
Well, no, absolutely. I think this shows some maturity, on our guys' part. They're very happy, of course. It's a really good win for us. But they also understand as soon as we can enjoy this for the rest of the evening, tomorrow we have to turn around and switch gears because we go right into a conference game on a short turnaround. So we can't afford to, just celebrate this game for so long. So tomorrow morning when they wake up, for myself and for them, it's on to the next play.
When it comes to your guys that are, the big guys down low, of course you got Zhang and CJ Walker doing their thing, but Jamir Reynolds tonight, not a lot of big plays per se, but a lot of the little details. He had, he drew 3 fouls in the time it was in, including that offensive foul that eventually led to the technical. Not exactly something that jumps off the stat sheet, but how much of an effect did that have on the momentum in the game? Is that when you kind of took control?
Absolutely. I thought Jamil was terrific. He had some big moments for us, a clutch finish. And one opportunity, defensively, as you mentioned, just putting his body in the right place, making plays for us. But he's been trending in that direction as well. His practices have been really good. He's been practicing with a purpose. You can just see a young man getting better. He's like a freshman again. Last year he didn't have a freshman summer or spring or even in fall-wise because of COVID. So it was his first summer having that opportunity to train and work like that. And I think you're seeing the fruits of his labor, and it's going to continue to get better because he's still just scratching the surface from where we think he can become.
You mentioned a quick turn, the challenge now for you. You got to go on the road and right back to conference play. How does a game like this prepare you? The atmosphere going on the road now.
Well, it prepares you because again we're going to go to another great atmosphere. SMU's playing really well. They have an experienced team. They've had a lot of success in the preseason, and so we know it's going to be a very competitive game. And so to prepare for that, having this type of crowd here, this type of environment, playing against a team like Michigan, I think helps prepare us going into an environment like the one we're going to face in a few days.
9-2 so far in the season. Is it like what you were expecting coming into the season, or is this even a slight pleasant surprise for you?
Well, we're going with high expectations all the time. Our vision is for our program is about championships and competing to win. And so every time we step on the floor, every time we put together a schedule, we put it together with that in mind about how can we be champions. And we thought the schedule reflected that. It reflected how much confidence I had in our team this year from the standpoint of I looked at our squad and said, we're going to play as many of the teams that will play us in the country. And we got a number of teams to play. Unfortunately, one game got called off. That's going to happen, now with COVID and this new variant, and so we understood that. But we're going to play everyone, and I think it just shows my belief in our guys. And our mindset is, we want to be a championship level program. The only way you can do that is to play the kind of quality teams that we've been playing, every season.
You mentioned COVID and
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely had fun. I have fun all the time. I have fun because I like to compete. And so every time we get a chance to lace them up and go play against anyone, I'm having fun because I'm in my wheelhouse. I love to compete. I loved it. The day I picked that basketball up, I fell in love with it. And I've never fallen out of love with it. And my wife probably attested to that. And so, so I've been very fortunate, to find something that I've loved and been able to do it for a long time. And so, definitely having fun and have fun coaching these young men. I have fun mentoring these young men, beyond the basketball part, because basketball is great, but also just, developing them for who they're going to be as human beings beyond that is something that I'm very big on, and want to make sure our guys get the right foundation laid, get their degrees, and understand the steps they got to take to be successful, well beyond what they do, making a basket or playing defense.
Did Coach A give you some dance moves?
I need some dance moves from Coach A. She's the best at it. She's terrific. We've been here together for the same amount of time, and I've loved working with her. I really admired her program and what they've been able to accomplish. She's done a terrific job, and her players are unbelievable.
Coach, really quick, Coach, you talked about the importance of taking care of the ball tonight, and Darius Johnson played some extended minutes tonight at the point guard position. Just talk about how important he was controlling the offense.
Darius was terrific.
Yes, sir.
I've been on him. I've been hard on Darius because he's a point guard, of course. And I was a point. And you're gonna catch the wrath of your coach a lot. But you know what? To his credit, he just stays even keel. He comes out. He keeps competing, and you see him getting better. He's getting more and more comfortable with the minutes, and he's gonna be a terrific player. You saw the plays he made, some timely plays for us. Defensively, offensively, getting to the basket and finishing around contact. I mean, the young man is going to be a really good player in our program for years to come.
How important was it to get a signature non-conference win? I know you can say every game matters, but at the beginning of the season, some matter more than others. But having a signature win, how important was that tonight?
It's very important to have an opportunity. This was our last opportunity, and to make the most out of it. I'm really proud of our guys because, as you mentioned, a lot of things get decided and talked about in the preseason. So what did you do back then? After conference play is over. So you want to make sure that when you look back on it, you're able to say, well, we had some signature moments too, like a lot of the other teams will be able to say. So this was a huge game for us in that regard.
So you feel like the FSU cancellation kind of cornered you into having to have a signature moment tonight, huh?
I think it did. I really do. I do believe that did kind of put us in position because now you lost an opportunity to have another, opponent like that. And but it's through no one's fault because that could have been any of us.
Mm-hmm.
As you know how fast this thing spreads, that could be any of us at any time. So but fortunately we had another game on the docket, which is Michigan, and we were able to make the most out of it.
Coach, you mentioned before how these non-conference games are really important for a team. How did that affect your team at this point in this season, and how does that really propel you guys going now into a long stretch of conference play?
Well, it really helps us because, as you know, our conference is tough. And I can't say it enough. Really talented players, great coaches, that combination, great environments. When you have those type of combinations, you have to prepare yourself well in the preseason. I learned that my first year here, and I wanted to make sure we continue to establish that we play really challenging preseason schedules because we will not be prepared to face the type of teams we're going to face in this conference if we go out there and play a light schedule and expect to go out here and beat the teams in this league. It's not going to happen.
All good, guys?
Happy New Year, Coach.
Hey, Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You and the guys stay healthy, huh?
Absolutely, man. You're right about that. That's key. Please, Happy New Year and stay healthy.